He's giving medieval peasant. Welcome again to this channel where we talk about random fashion stuff, random pop culture stuff. If you're wondering who I am, you can go back to the first video. It's just a couple of videos ago where I post a little bit what I do. I'm a basically fashion designer that is on a venture to do something else creative, and that creative thing turns out to be recording videos of myself. But you can see some of my work there. Maybe I'll post like 3 photos here to as a reminder, but if you want to see more, go back to the first video. And today I really want to talk about the row, because I know the row existed, but I feel like it wasn't my aesthetic. Like, I know it existed. I know it was like some new luxurious brand done by Olsen's. Expensive, simple. That's all I knew about it. But because of the new resurgence of like the sale that they did and the queuing and the whole drama of it all, kind of convinced me to have a closer look, because I was like, okay, like, let's just have a look. Let's just see what that brand is about. Look at the website. I literally never even looked at the website, never looked like anything. I just knew it existed. I had no interest in it. Like, it's not my aesthetic. I'm quite, first thing, I couldn't afford it. It's not like I'll buy it anyway. But my fashion aesthetic is more maximalist and more weird. You could say more like strange. Like, I don't really do simple very well. So I know it was with my aesthetic, so I didn't look like, okay, perfect t-shirt, great. So I thought we can have a look together and have a closer look at how they started. It's not old brand, obviously. It started by Olsen twins, so they're not 70, so it's not like this brand been around for long. But I thought we can have a look and see where it started, what is it about, have a look at the website, let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you hear more about it before the dramas of it all and the queues outside of the sale and whatnot? So yeah, let's have a look. So I didn't even know that. I knew it was called The Row, but I didn't know. I had literally no interest in that brand. But it's called The Row because of the Savile Row in London. And honestly, when I read it straight away, I feel like I liked it a bit more, because I walked across Savile Row not that long ago. And as a designer, like, I make clothes. I sacrifice like 10 years of my life to perfect the craft. And, I put like all my life and all my finances, everything into it. I just loved it so much. So walking across, and when you walk across Savile Row, if you look down, you can, like, obviously on the eye level there are the shops, but they're like kind of like a basementy. I don't know if you know how the London situation looks like. So you have like the actual building, and there's like a basement, but you can see to the basement because it's like full on hole in the road, and there are windows, and it looks so beautiful. Honestly, I was walking across, looking at the, how they were working, all these setups. Honestly, it's so, at least to me, so beautiful and fascinating. Honestly, I was looking at it, make me want to cry, because it's just amazing that someone's perfecting the craft to that point and putting so much into it, so much detail, so much care. Honestly, it's beautiful sight. If you're ever in London, just walk across. It's in central London. Just walk across and look down. I will maybe like post some photos in here to give you an idea on what I'm talking about. But it's just beautiful. And so that's why they called it because obviously it's a street where they make like a lot of top quality suits and things like this. So they want to make a top quality simple pieces. So apparently they got fascinated with like t-shirt, and they try to perfect, like, create a perfect t-shirt. So that's what it started. So you can get an idea what kind of simple clothing they're going for. So they started in, well, the concept and the idea started in 2025. Obviously by the both Olsen twins. It started with like the perfect t-shirt ambition. They wanted like clothing that simple pieces, like everyday pieces, even that t-shirt would be like $5,000 or something. Perfect pieces that would look great if you are 20, if you are 40, if you are 70. You can always keep those pieces and wear them. So that was the idea, which is a beautiful idea. A lot of brands should be looking at that thinking that you should create something such a good quality that will last people for years and it would suit them for years. So that's what started. Official launch was in 2026. They launched with 7 pieces that included a t-shirt, some leggings, cashmere wool tank tops. I'll post some of the items maybe if I can find them here. Just like very simple few pieces. They were getting traction because they didn't want to use the names apparently. Like for first year, couple years, they were not even doing interviews. But obviously, everyone knew it was Olsen Twins brand, so they didn't need to speak. People would go and look at it regardless. So it was getting some traction. Then in between 2027 and 28, 2008, not 27. What I'm talking about. They started adding like accessories, handbags, everything going great. Then they were adding menswear. Obviously, people were talking about it because there were simple pieces that were really expensive. Apparently, we will look at the website later to get a better idea of the pieces, but clearly they were having customers and investors, and they were getting awards. They got in 2012 they won Cancel Fashion Design of America Women's Wear Designer of the Year award. So I don't know how legit these awards are, but they won. They had some sort of recognition in the industry. I really like the stores, how they look. Like I said, I had no idea what they were doing. I looked at the way the stores look like when they start opening. They're beautiful. I really like the interior designs they were going with. It's simple, but it's it's not just basic white wall. It's cool. I'll be posting photos. It had some life. It was very simple, but you could feel the life in there, if you know what I mean. For such a young brand, they did have some controversies. So between 2015 and 2017, they had internal lawsuit about the wages. So there were some issues in the brand. So I don't know how I feel about it. I really have strong opinions about interns in a fashion industry, how getting used and abused. So for someone like this that's selling a t-shirt for like 2 grand or something, I'm sorry, but you can pay an intern. You can pay an intern, pay them minimum wage, pay them something. Come on. Should be, especially for people that with this type of money. And blah, blah, failing to pay. So they were failing to pay interns. And I guess group of interns there was a lot of interns, 185 interns sue them. And they blah, 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 blah. They settled out of court. So someone sued them. So they admit, you settle out of court, you admit you made a mistake. So I guess they were learning, but still, that should never happen. Especially them as a kid actors, they knew that people get abused in the industry, used, underpaid. You should not be doing that. So then they start having like issues in 2020, like everyone. Then they had some other small controversies. They basically, as a brand, they had few smaller controversies at this point, and hopefully they keep it this way. So they had like a production relocation. They were apparently from the beginning making like, oh, it's made in USA, made in USA. Like that was the selling point, and that was the kind of explaining the price point. But then apparently they will start moving some things to Italy, which Italy is a great production place, but apparently their customers really, if you really market it as, oh, we make it in USA, and then you start making in Italy, I guess people cared. But because it's not like they moved from USA to production in China, I guess when people eventually accepted it. And they had major investments from family offices behind Chanel, whatever that means, and L'Oreal. So apparently they already, after 10, 15 years of that brand, or maybe 20 years? Yeah, around 20 years. And they still the main shareholder, both of them, but probably maybe let's say if they are main shareholder, that means it could be 60% or whatever. So they could be 40% owned by other parties. So I wish they didn't do that, but I guess if you want to grow a brand, you need that. They also had like they started doing fashion shows from the beginning, and they were big on like a secrecy. I think that's where the newest controversy with the sample sale went, because it was so public. There were people queuing outside. They were paying companies to keep a space in a line, so it was very public, very out there with that sale. That went really against what they really were trying from the beginning, because at the fashion shows you couldn't, like, they were really strict. Nobody could bring your phones, there was no media around it. They were just, if you know, you know. If you can get it, you can get it. If you don't, they don't even care that you don't know about them. It was that kind of weird, I would say, very much Hermes idea, but I would say even further than Hermes. They were like crazy about the secrecy, and the only the people that can get it will get it, and that's why it was so overpriced and so luxurious and so elusive. There was this mystery around those basic t-shirts, so that was their selling point, and I guess that type of customer likes that. They like feeling like that included in some part of secret society, secret fashion code, that type of vibe. They also had another small controversy with production of some slippers and some like footwear. That some footwear was plasticky. I think one of them, there was issue that was falling apart on the customers, which slippers for like 600 should not be falling apart on nobody ever. If I pay for slippers £600, I'm getting buried in them. Okay, they staying with me forever, the rest of my life. I hand them down to my children and my grandchildren. Like, why they're falling apart. So at the moment, even with the, like, the small controversies they had, because they made the investments, they had like very high valuation of, I think, like 1 billion or something, if I'm saying that correctly. So they're doing great. They're doing that quiet luxury shenanigans and going with that. But let's have a look at what they're actually making. What's the most popular pieces they had? They try to have their, like, a Birkin version of the bag for themselves, which is Margaux, whatever that name is. They try to do that, and apparently it's doing well. It's their kind of classic style. Do I like it? It's alright. It's nice, but it's not blowing my mind. Does it blow your mind? I don't know. Let's have a look what the website looks like. What on a website does it look expensive? What are the prices? Because all I know is that it's expensive and that's simple. But how expensive is it? First thing that I'm surprised about, that when you go on the website, you can actually see sale section. So I know that obviously they couldn't control that they did a sample sale and there were people queuing up overnight, and it was making it a really big deal. But that might be also connected to the fact that they were really secretive, but in the last year, I think 2024, they got that big investment, and maybe that's the time when they sold their shares. And then once you have shareholders, other people have opinions where the money should be. So maybe that was the change they introduced. That there's, I don't know if that section was there before, because I never looked on the website. So if you looked, that it was there before, ignore it. So you have sale section. Let's look at sale first. See what type of sale they do. Men's, women's. I'll just look at women's because that's all I'm interested about. If you're all ready to wear, initial look that it gives visually, it gives new look. But obviously, everything is like silk, cotton, wool, like top quality materials. I'm really hoping you're not going to see polyester on that website. So that kind of cape top, it was 2.5 grand. Now it's 1,300. It's quite ugly. It's, I understand simple. There are brands that can do very like simple, but still with some sort of design twist, like just something else. This doesn't even look like a lace nicely on her. This, I really, again, for that price, I'm very critical. I don't like the flat images that they did. I don't think these images are. I think these images give expensive. They give new look. It gives me new look. Like this looks cheap, basic. This I feel like looks that top with a cut. Either it's wrinkled and it's not ironed before photo shoot, or I don't know. It just doesn't look flattering. It doesn't look like on a sale is for £800 basically. I don't know if cotton top have a right of that price. This simple top, oh my god, they're not gonna be the margins that they have on those must be insane. This, something like this. I would think like, okay, if you're doing simple and expensive, do some pattern cutting, twist on this idea of simple. Do something else. Don't just, I'm not saying this is great, but it's something else. Like it's something. This photo again, maybe it's just the photos. Obviously, it's a nice jacket, but it gives new look. It doesn't even look like it's wool on these images. The images are quite cheap. These trousers, man. That dress is nice, basic. I guess cotton and silk. Okay, grand and a half.
Actually, I'll take it back. After looking at the images more while I was editing, look at the pulling of that dress. That dress on a sale is grand and a half. Look how many pulls, how not fitting. Is it too small for the model? What is this? No, I changed my mind. This is horrendous for this price. There's no right to be looking like this.
For grand and a half, you can make these designer. I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind this price because they're such a simple shape. The production of it, even if it's top quality wool, hand woven by little children, because they have delicate finger or whatever. You start looking for any type of reasoning. It's never going to. The price is never going to make sense. Like, why is it so expensive? This shirt I like the it's simple, it's nice. I feel like it gives you a lot of options. Okay, that's cotton. How good is this cotton? Where is this cotton? Is this cotton raised in, I don't know, are they pouring water on it with gold or some vitamins for this cotton to grow better and something? Like I just don't understand where cotton dress is grand and a half and on sale 800. Like I just I'm really not the person to understand this. This is just bad shape. And if it was making you look really beautiful and it was really flattering and it's okay, but these are really just not even that great. They just look so basic. This looks bad. The trousers don't look like they're good fit. What's going on in here? Do they not fit the model? Why the crotch is so weirdly low? And it's not like, oh, it's baggy, so it's low. No, because the legs are semi-fitted, they're semi-straight. Why is this happening? It's just strange. Like it's just really not flattering. It looks like you bought like jacket suit in charity shop and it doesn't fit yet. It needs alterations. That's what it looks like. I just don't get it for that price. These t-shirts are nice and simple, but there's no reason for them to cost originally grand and 200. That's just ugly dress. That's the pulls. I just don't like the pulls. Like, okay, you trying to do simple. Pattern cut the shit out of it. So it's flattering that you can't see unless they're going with the idea it's frumpy. The idea of the brand is frumpy. I I just don't understand. And don't get me wrong, it's not like, oh, I hate everything because it's expensive because I can't afford it, blah blah. No, I understand the pricing of designer clothing, but I just can't find reasons for these pieces to be these prices. Let's look at handbags. Really not my aesthetic because they're just way too simple. I understand that's the vibe they're going for. Meh, 3 grand for bag. I feel like with leather pieces you can always justify higher prices because it could be like the best part of leather. It could be sourced really ethically. Could be reasons for this price, and it's designer piece. It's the Olsen twist, blah blah. But design wise, they're all boring. I don't like any of this, and they look like, but again, like unfinished, like the prototypes. Like I don't know why is it like it's lots of like weird puckering and I understand that that's pretty on purpose, trying to make it look messy, but it looks messy in a wrong way. I guess this is alright. It's fine. That bag with that little button, something else. At least that button is a design aspect in one way or another. No, none of these bags like that. That's something. The half moon bag. That's alright. That's simple, but something else going on. I could get behind that. The more I look at it, the more I'm behind it. But these simple totes, they don't even look that durable, and they're 2 grand. Because let's have a closer look. Yeah, the way this is attached, I don't know if this would rip eventually. If you like carry a lot of heavy stuff, I understand the approaching like super rich customer that probably doesn't carry anything in it, but that should not be the thought behind creating a product. You should think people, if it's a large bag, people pack it to the rim and maybe use that. Like it should be durable. No, the bags are not my cup of tea, not my cup of anything. One thing you need to say is about this brand, everything is cohesive. The imagery, the messaging, the idea behind it, the product is all very cohesive to what they want to achieve. So I'm assuming that's what speaks to the customer. The spring 2026. I like these images more than the other ones. Yeah, it's pure photography. Look at this. They match their images. Again, the messaging that it's very cohesive in this brand. These images are beautiful, the eye-catching. They're convincing me more about the story of the brand. Beautiful. Yeah, this imagery, the random flowers between. I'm sold. It's beautiful. Oh my god, I can't even describe the grading, the color grading of these images. It really speaks to your soul. It's almost like these are not models, they are actors, and you can see something in their eyes. I like that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Even this guy, they have that something in their eye. I don't know if it's edited in or they just got good acting models. Beautiful. I can get behind that. That's stunning. Winter 2025. That's from a runway. Styling looks alright on some of the pieces. The fold over bag from previous season looks much nicer than what you can see now on the website. Like that's a nice design. Not new arrivals. Let's look at new arrivals. What do you have to offer? And for what price? Top in cashmere for 2.5 grand. It's such a basic shape. It gives new look. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The leggings looks nice fitted, but leggings for 800? That shoe is giving medieval peasant. Who rich wants to wear medieval peasant shoe? That's like the ugliest shoe that I've seen. And it looks so soft, doesn't even look durable. What is this? That shoe is. Tell me your opinion about the medieval peasant. Yeah. No, can't be doing that. Can't be looking like a medieval peasant for this price. This looks comfortable. These tights, that cashmere, the tights, trouser tights basically. And a cardigan is expensive, but it's cashmere and it looks nice. Yeah, I could get behind that. Okay, the cotton, like, and I feel like I can justify cashmere, silk, because obviously there are different levels to a cashmere. Like not everything cashmere is the same type of, if not from the same part of the sheep or animal, the different like farms of it, some of them better. So obviously the prices can go to like stupid. So I can justify it. About cotton, how expensive can premium cotton get? Like these medieval peasants will be stuck in my head forever. This is nice. It's a nice photo, nice jacket, a bit more design. That's what I would expect. Like classy, timeless, great quality, simple, but with some sort of design aspect. They need to be designed somewhere, like some sort of design, not just we're making basic code. That code that you've seen 50 million times, this one's just made nice. There is brands like this. We don't need another one like this. Like why you are special, like that kind of details. I can get behind that. These shoes are alright. Not like other luxury brands, they're not that much more expensive, to be fair. I think I was expecting like stupid prices. These are nice pieces. Simple, again, simple, classy, but they've got something going on. These shoes look quite alright as well. This gloves idea, that kind of, like this is simple, but then you have three matching pieces. You can really, different styling aspect. It gives you something, gives you possibilities. I like, oh, okay, I'm not hating this whole brand altogether. Okay, gloves 500, but they all cashmere. Like this set, okay, I could get behind that. Not gonna lie, I could wear that and make it work. Oh, this color's really nice. This, yeah, okay, these cashmere sets. I don't blame people that they want it. I guess like with every brand, they have nicer pieces, worse pieces. They just got the controversy of being like very expensive and quite simple. But some of these designs have something going on. Some of them are simpler than the others, but some of them are quite nice. I like these jackets. I like the neck. You see that kind of can be their characteristic detail that they're doing. Let's look at shoes because look like some design looks like some of the other clothing. They have like nicer ones and worse ones, but the shoes given medieval peasants. Those basic heels, nice, basic. Again, these flasks give medieval peasants. I don't know, they're just very floppy and misshapen. This is the worst thing I've seen in my life. This gives new look. That fleece stretch. I don't like that. I don't want anything for this type of money to remind me of new look. Platin velvet. Isn't velvet gonna be polyester? Where's this velvet made from? Okay, viscose. At least I have viscose and silk. Saved. Yeah, the shoes are very basic. Not really fan of the shoes, to be fair. They're too simple. Like some of the clothing have some sort of unique detailing on them. I feel like the shoes don't. They're just basic and expensive, leaning on ugly and expensive medieval peasant. So let me know what you think. I think that'll be the end of that video because it's quite a young brand. There's not much going on. They had few small controversies, but they mostly they just started growing. Let's see. They go major investments last year. Let's see where that takes them. They do have few nice pieces that I'm like, oh, okay, I see the idea behind it. It's very few out of the whole collections that they have, but I'll be following. I would be excited to see next time what they have going on and is anything changing, what direction they taking. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you have interest in that kind of simple fashion? Do you think quiet luxury is slowly dying? I am quite maximalist, so the quiet luxury was never my thing totally. But I get it from a design aspect and people personal style. I get it. That can be somebody's style. Not for me. I'm too extra. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.